Now really, oh God.
I'm putting you on the timer.
On a timer, I'd like to mention a couple of issues which have to do with jobs and employment in South Georgia. One of them is solar power. Now, many of you may be aware that Cobb EMC up in Atlanta was pushing coal plants in Washington County and Ben Hill County, both in South Georgia. They're not doing that anymore, and the Ben Hill coal plant has been canceled. Why is this? Yes, it's been canceled because the people rose up and the shareholders of Cobb EMC rose up and voted out more than a majority of the board. And suddenly, Cobb EMC is putting in a solar plant. And Cobb EMC's executive director says he's discovered it's just time for solar in Georgia. If Cobb EMC can do that, Georgia Power can do that. And we don't even have to wait for Georgia Power to do that. We have a 350 kilowatt plant right down at the Mud Creek wastewater plant. Before that, a lot of people around here would say, well, that doesn't really work. They can't say that anymore. Now they say, well, I don't know if it'll work in South Georgia. Wait a minute. It's right out there. It does work. And as Jerome Tucker's pointed out, it brings jobs in truckers and installation, electricians, plumbers, professors to study it, more R&D. There's something we can do right here in South Georgia. This is something that especially affects you who are running for the State House. Because one of the big impediments is there's a law in Georgia that says that if you put a solar or wind installation on your private property, you can only sell that power to the utility. Georgia is one of only 4 states that have such a law. In any other state, you could sell it to somebody in Atlanta, and the power company would profit too because they could take a percentage and they can take advertising rights. It's to everybody's advantage. I have a question. Are any of you shareholders in the Southern Company, the parent of Georgia Power? You are? Can I talk to you later? Is something coming up? Oh, and one of you is a lawyer. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so there's stuff you can do right here, everywhere from the county level to the national level, but particularly in the State House regarding solar power for jobs. The other thing is internet access. Now, some of us, I hope my hair never goes gray, but some of us, may not use the internet too much. Okay, I admit I do. But, even if you don't, your children do. And if you want to attract knowledge-based jobs to this county, like the Chamber is always claiming they want to do into this region, you need internet access. You need fast internet access. Now, many of us are sick of hearing about Chattanooga because of a certain previous referendum. But Chattanooga actually did something good. They put in a gigabit metropolitan area internet access network. Gigabit. That's 1,000 times faster than a megabit. It's hard to get anything like that anywhere else. That is the fastest one in the country. But there are 100 other metropolitan area networks in this country. There's Lafayette, Louisiana, for example, LaGrange, Georgia, and Thomasville has a fairly fast network. We could do that right here. We could have already done it. The state was actually doing grants for that purpose through 2010. As near as I can tell, nobody here applied for it. The County Commission, the Valdosta City Council, and any of the other city councils could try to do that. I hear there's an impediment in the State House on that one, too. Apparently, the incumbent ISPs, we all know their names, managed to get the State House to say that municipalities have restrictions on doing their own internet access. So that's something that could be changed. So there's 2 issues for you, Lou, solar power and internet access. Both of them directly bring jobs, and they facilitate knowledge-based jobs just like we want. So when people graduate from high school or college here, they can actually get jobs around here and not have to move somewhere else. Thank you.